So, good afternoon. Welcome back to Premier League transfer update. Something slightly different today, actually. We're going to speak about the way that UEFA are going to decide the European spots, and it's not going to be done in a way that I think everyone thought it was going to be done in. It's going to be done completely differently, to the point that it's going to be. It's kind of funny, actually, because it's going to be done on the basis that, rather than the stand-ins from last season or the stand-ins now, it's actually going to be done on a points per game basis, which means Sheffield United miss out on Champions League spaces, and Man United sneak in. I'm going to come to that in a minute anyway. But like I said, UEFA are having a meeting today. They're actually in that meeting as I record this video. But here's some of the things that I want to run through real quick. The points per game basis would see Liverpool first, Man City second, Leicester third, Chelsea fourth, Manchester United fifth, Sheffield United sixth, Wolves seventh, and Arsenal eighth. I think that's right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the points per game basis would see Arsenal eighth. I'm sure I read another report earlier that said that Arsenal would be seventh, but listen, this is an official Twitter account I'm reading this off of, and yeah, he's probably got it right. So basically, what it means is, rather than the Champions League spots going to the teams based on last season, if this season gets void, it means that they're going to do it on a points per game basis, working out off of this season. Now, the one thing I will say here is that this doesn't affect anything domestically. This is only for Europa League and for Champions League. So I don't know how I feel about this, if I'm being honest. I think that, yes, it'd be great if Arsenal were in Champions League. I ain't really too fussed if we are in Champions League or not. I think that what you've got to do is work out the best way to make it fair for everybody. And listen, the Premier League table, Liverpool are running away with a title. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win a title. The season's still void as it stands right now. As it stands, it's not being played. They don't know when it's coming back. And there's lots of reports saying that it's not coming back. Again, I'm going to read this out real quick. Some of the things that UEFA are doing today, they're having a meeting, like I said, as we speak. Some of the agendas of the meeting are going to be to seek and discuss what implications will be for the clubs and the fans and the players. UEFA meeting will set out to discuss how and when the season will end, which leagues are preferring to end their season early. So, because obviously some of them have decided to end their season already. We're trying to get ours done. The main concern, though, is going to be Champions League and Europa League. It's more than likely going to be done on a points per game basis, they're saying. That's pretty much set in stone. That's something they've been speaking about for a while. UEFA has decided that if the leagues do not finish, then qualification for the Champions League and Europa League should be done on sporting merit. That's from Martin Ziegler, who writes for The Times. He is reporting this. It also suggests that you could see qualification decided on a points per game basis, which has been touted as the solution to decide key outcomes like titles, promotion and relegation. Whilst that's not actually set in stone for the Premier League, for the Europa League and Champions League, that looks like the route they're going down. The fact that, listen, you've played X amount of games, we're going to divide the amount of points you've got by the amount of games that have been played to work out your points per game average, and the top 6-7 spots will get the European spaces. Do you know what? In a way, I think that's kind of fair, but at the same time, it's a little bit unfair as well, because if the season ends up getting finished, then Sheffield United might get top four. They might not get top four. Who knows? But they haven't then had that fair crack at it to get it. So it's kind of unfair on teams like Sheffield United. But at the same time, the teams that will get the European spots are the ones that are in the European spots now. So I suppose that's fair. But I just look at this and I just think this is an absolute mess. Nothing's ever happened like this ever in football. And they're desperate to get the season finished, as we already know. They 100% want the Premier League finished. You know, I think every single Liverpool fan wants it finished, and not just because they want to win the title. Yeah, I think that for football in general, I think we're all bored now. I think we all want to get back to watching some level of football again, and it'd just be nice. I mean, they've tried to say that they could do it behind closed doors, they could do it abroad, they could do it, you know, with fans in the stadium when it's safe to do so. I personally think they're going to avoid it. You know, I changed my mind from one week to the next. Sometimes I think, yeah, it's coming back. Other times I think, no, there's no way it's coming back. And as it stands right now, listen, there's no way they can bring it back right now. But let's not forget here, we're nearly in May. The season's supposed to end in May. You know, there's still 92 Premier League games to be played. How they are going to do that and then get the next season underway, for me personally, I think it's probably best to write this season off, pretend it never happened, go down the route of the points per game basis for the European spots. Cool. That probably won't happen for relegation and promotion and stuff like that. But for the European spots, maybe that is the fairest way. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Leave that in the comment section. But I think that, you know, for me, it'd be more lucrative for the Premier League to start next season on time rather than rushing the end of this season to a climax and then going into next season. It's also probably unsafe to do so, to rush that. Like I've said so many times that if you're going to rush these players back, they've been sat on their backside for 6 weeks now. Some of the players haven't been training properly. Some of them have been drinking. We see Oxlade-Chamberlain drinking a couple of glasses of wine the other day. Not that they don't do that anyway, of course they do, but their training regime has been totally messed up. It's not like when you go into the training ground and you're all doing and getting put through your paces. Just doing a little bit on a treadmill, maybe a little weight program at home, but they're probably not doing it with the intensity that they would do if they were in training and their boss was there and their coaches were there, and you know the other staff that work at the training ground were there. It'd be a better environment. It'd be a more intense training regime rather than just, oh, I can do it whenever I want, you know. And I think that you're going to see a hell of a lot of players get injured if they rush this season back, because they need a couple of weeks to get back up to speed. They've had 6 weeks of doing nothing. You know, a lot of these players don't get 6 weeks break full stop. They've just had 6 weeks off. You know, and to get them straight back into professional football again, you're going to see a lot of injuries. You're going to see hamstrings. You're going to see other muscle injuries along the way as well. And there's going to be a lot of players that then miss the start of the next season. Obviously, you've got to add into this as well about the contract situation, because a lot of players' contracts expire completely with the clubs that they're at on the 30th of June. So what does that mean for them? I see something the other day that said that the clubs can extend the contract and the player would have to stay at the club even if he's joining another club. They'd have to extend it. The player don't legally have to do that. Yeah, yes, it'd be the right thing to do. Very similar to how I spoke about Ozil and his wages. It's the right thing to make that pledge to the club. But a lot of them won't do it because, as we've said a million times before, most of them couldn't care less about the club. They're only there to pick up their wage check. But listen, leave it all in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think it's the right and fair thing to do in terms of the European spots by doing it on a points average per game that you've collected this season? Leave that down below. And do you think the season will carry on, or do you think it'll be voided off? There's so many different ways this could go. And like I said, this is unprecedented. It's never happened before. So all the legal aspect of it, trying to make sure everything's right and trying to make sure everything's as fair as possible for everyone. The one thing's for sure, though, I think we're all bored now and we all want football back. But until it's safe and well to do so, we're not going to see it anytime soon. So we just got to grin and bear it for now. But listen, I'll be playing FIFA on the gaming channel. Check that out. League Gunner Gaming, link in the description down there somewhere. If you want to become a channel member, hit the link, press join, come and join in, baby. And I'll be playing FIFA on the gaming channel in about an hour from now. All have a wonderful day. I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.